Can you imagine waking up one day to the Lakers pulling off a move so wild it shakes the entire Western Conference landscape? A deal so bold, so unexpected, it rattles the confidence of their fiercest rivals and reshapes the playoff picture before the first tip-off of the season even happens? Well, Lakers Nation, buckle up, because there's been simmering buzz, serious buzz, that could redefine the purple and gold's path forward, and it's not about LeBron hitting another milestone or AD ramping up his dominance. No, this is a seismic ripple in the trade waters involving none other than Norman Powell coming over from the Clippers to join our crew. Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truths collide with purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so your heart never misses a beat. Now let's peel back the curtain on what might be the most electrifying off-season storyline you didn't see coming. The Lakers roster has been a roller coaster of hope, heartbreak, and strategy ever since the 2023 season ended. Remember that painfully close loss in the playoffs? But this summer, the front office has been anything but quiet. We're talking about a team repositioning itself in a Western Conference where contenders like Denver, Phoenix, and Dallas ain't waiting around. And as if the drama wasn't already thick enough, Miami Heat's acquisition of Norman Powell from the Clippers has sent shockwaves up and down the league. But here's the twist. Sources close to the Lakers are whispering that Powell might just be redirected straight into the purple and gold fold, igniting a chain reaction of moves that includes the Warriors and their ongoing drama with Jonathan Kuminga. Sounds crazy? Hold on. We're just getting started. Miami's deal for Powell with the Clippers was seen as a power move, stacking their roster with a seasoned scorer and lockdown wing defender. Powell, backed by years of playoff experience, fits their Heat culture ethos: grit, hustle, and clutch performances. But here's the detail no one's talking about. What if the Lakers snatch him back? Powell's fit alongside LeBron and AD is undeniable. He's the kind of two-way threat who can change the complexion of games with defense and timely buckets. It's reminiscent of those Showtime Celtics matchups in the 80s, where one key piece could tilt the scales, or the dynamic shifts the Lakers made during the Shaq-Kobe era. Remember how they consistently augmented their core with role players that maximized the big two? This isn't just about adding depth. It's about injecting that championship mindset into a roster hungry for both consistency and star power around its legends. Meanwhile, out in the Bay Area, the Golden State Warriors have been entangled in a messy saga over Jonathan Kuminga, their 22-year-old forward with sky-high potential but questionable fit and contract standoff. The Warriors' situation reads like a cliffhanger thriller: stalled negotiations, rumors of locker room discord, and a ticking clock as training camp looms. Now enter a blockbuster three-team proposal that has the Lakers getting Andrew Wiggins, the Heat securing Kuminga, and Golden State collecting Rui Hachimura, Jaime Jaquez Jr., plus a 2029 first-round pick. Wiggins, a 30-year-old two-way dynamo, would immediately bolster the Lakers' wing rotation with his championship experience and defensive versatility. It's a classic win now versus build for later narrative blossoming before our eyes. But is this the move that finally crosses the Lakers over from contenders to true title favorites, or does it just muffle the roaring competition in the West a bit more? And the Heat's role here is intriguing. Landing Kuminga fits their youth-first blueprint. Sure, he'd have to play behind Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro, but with Miami's culture of player development under Coach Spoelstra, Kuminga has a shot at becoming a cornerstone. On the flip side, the Warriors shore up their wing depth with proven players like Hachimura and Jaquez Jr., upping their defensive tenacity and offensive efficiency. But let me ask you this. Could the Warriors really afford to lose Kuminga, their young star with so much untapped promise? Or is this a necessary gamble to keep the ship steady in the near term? The answers to these questions don't just depend on stats. They hinge on locker room dynamics, future financial flexibility, and long-term vision. Remember how the Lakers themselves managed their cap during the 2020 bubble run, carefully balancing veteran presence with fresh talent, all while playing the strategic game of contract years and free agency? This feels like déjà vu, but on a whole new level. Now, back to the Lakers. Norman Powell is more than just another piece. He's a gritty competitor who could seamlessly slide into a rotation right next to Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, and Rui Hachimura himself. The defensive versatility Powell brings would let Frank Vogel's or Darvin Ham's defense schemes breathe easier, something the Lakers desperately needed after last season's uneven lockdown stretches. We've all watched those crunch time moments, missing that critical stop, or watching an open shooter burn us from deep. Powell's arrival could be the answer to those prayers. But here's the sticking point. How does this affect salary cap maneuvers heading into 2026's monster free agency? The Lakers' front office has been tight-lipped, but everyone knows they're cooking up scenarios to keep space open for big splash moves. Signing Powell would be a masterstroke of balancing immediate competitiveness with future flexibility, a tricky tightrope to walk, but one the Lakers have danced on before. Think about the durability and experience Powell provides. A sharp contrast to some of the younger guys on the roster like Gabe Vincent, who bring hustle but lack the same seasoned clutch factor. And while LeBron James continues defying father time at 39 and Anthony Davis battles injury demons, adding someone like Powell could offer LeBron those much-needed breathing spells during grueling playoff pushes. This is not just a roster tweak. It's a strategic chess move modeled after the Lakers' glory years, the ones where Paul Gasol turned the Lakers into a two-time champ, or when veteran shooters and defenders filled gaps around Kobe's ruthless scoring machine. But what about the drama with internal Lakers assets? Could bringing in Powell mean sacrificing young pieces like Rui Hachimura or risking chemistry disruptions? Will Austin Reeves accept a potentially reduced role, or could this spark a heated battle for minutes that fractures the squad? Trade rumors are a double-edged sword. Some fizzle, others blow up the league. But in Lakers land, every whisper is a possibility worth dissecting. Meanwhile, across the NBA landscape, the Western Conference race continues escalating. The Suns, Nuggets, and Mavericks are beefing up with their own offseason moves, while talks swirl around buyouts, midseason trades, and the hunt for that final missing piece. The stakes are high, and the Lakers can't afford to just rehash old formulas. They need a bold recalibration. That's why reports linking this three-team deal involving Powell, Wiggins, Kuminga, and promising youngsters like Jaquez Jr. feel so urgent and tantalizing. It's as if the Lakers' front office is playing a high-stakes poker game, counting cards, bluffing on trades, and ready to raise the stakes in pursuit of another banner. Yet, here's the cliffhanger. Jonathan Kuminga might just decide to accept the Warriors' qualifying offer and stick around. If that happens, this whirlwind potential deal collapses like a house of cards, shutting down the path to both Powell and Wiggins in one swift stroke. So where does that leave the Lakers? Will they pivot to other star targets, dive deep into buyouts, or double down on their core and hope the developing pieces bring a surprise surge? As a lifelong Lakers believer, I can't help but feel we're on the edge of something massive, something that could trigger the next big purple and gold dynasty. But is this the move that launches a new Lakers era, or the gamble that haunts us for years? Drop your unfiltered takes in the comments. I'll be right there, heart in hand. Is the purple and gold about to pull off the most daring reshuffle of the season, or are we staring down the barrel of a self-inflicted disaster? Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because every move off the bench right now could be the difference between playoff glory and an early off-season purge. The chatter around the league is heating up like never before. Front office whispers suggest whispers that more than just the usual roster tweaking is in play. The tension between LeBron and AD's on-court chemistry is suddenly more fragile than fans ever imagined. And with the trade deadline looming, every decision rings with the ghosts of Lakers' past. Remember how Kobe's late 2000s era hinged on calculated risk and ruthless roster shuffles, only to be haunted by injuries and chemistry failures. Now, fast forward to today, and the stakes feel even higher with a stacked Western Conference ready to pounce on any sign of weakness. But what if the gamble to push a new dynamic piece into the rotation before the playoffs backfires spectacularly? Could it undo the delicate balance of leadership and scoring that the team has spent months cultivating? The ripple effect is undeniable. A single misstep shifts not just the Lakers' postseason destiny, but also redefines the whole West playoff arms race. Golden State and Denver are circling like predators, and even Phoenix's young core seems hungrier and smarter than ever, ready to exploit any Lakers' uncertainty. Yet here's the part nobody's talking about. The front office's quiet maneuvering on the salary cap reveals an undercurrent of desperation, a way to clear space for a blockbuster signing in the offseason, which means this season might be less about winning now and more about laying the ground for a seismic shift in 2025. Could this be the strategic retreat years in the making, or a reckless affidavit of futility dressed up as smart management? And what about Frank Vogel's legacy? His rotation tweaks have flipped the Lakers from sputtering underdogs to a fierce contender, but increasingly vocal insiders are questioning if his blueprint can survive the playoff heat, or if the Lakers commander will be the first casualty in this front office power play. Meanwhile, LeBron's leadership on and off the floor is under an unprecedented microscope. Can the King continue to carry this team's weight without a fully synchronized AD? Or is there an invisible fracture growing in the purple and gold spine, waiting to snap as foes relentlessly attack in crunch time? The pressure cooker is reaching critical mass, and every practice, every postgame, feels like walking a tightrope over a pit of doubt and what-ifs. As savvy fans, we can't ignore how this connects to the Lakers' endless cycle of peaks and valleys, the Showtime swagger giving way to the rebuilding fires of the 2010s, all culminating in that unforgettable 2020 bubble triumph born from resilience and unpredictability. Now, history is pressing down like a heavyweight champion. Are we witnessing the cautious rise of a new dynasty, or are the cracks widening into a fracture that could shatter Lakers' prestige for years? This season's narrative isn't just written in wins and losses, it's inked in every whisper, every glitch in team rhythm, every gamble by the front office filtering fast into the limelight. The Western Conference isn't waiting for answers, they're circling, ready to pounce at the slightest falter. So, as Lakers fans feeling the heat, the weight of history, and the uncertain promise of redemption, the only thing clear is that nothing is settled and everything is on edge. Drop your raw takes in the comments. I'm right there with you, glued to every twist and every controversial call in this roller coaster ride of purple and gold drama.